Let's be clear, this monster was never even named on screen. I had to Google it. Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 24th episode of the show Power Rangers Zeo, as well as the 179th episode of the series overall, titled Bulk Fiction. We started this episode at the playground while Bulk and Skull are chasing around a remote-controlled car. Yep, that's where we're at now. They dive for it and they miss it. Stone then shows up with a girl, introducing Cadet Connie to them. Stone says he wanted to introduce her to two of his best officers, but they're on assignment, so they'll have to do. Sick burn, Jerome. Bulk is immediately taken with Connie as well. She's also the captain's daughter and she shakes their hands. They leave and Bulk is clearly smitten with her. Then the remote control car goes by again. Anyways, at the youth center, they're having a fun decades dance and Kat, Rocky, and Tommy are helping set everything up. Then Bulk and Skull come in chasing the remote control car. It goes to Billy, and they give him a ticket for speeding, and Billy hands it back, explaining that the ticket for admission tonight to the dance is a toy for charity and he's donating this. In space, Sprocket begs for a new toy. Yep. Anyways, Bulk and Skull are giving out parking tickets and Bulk explains that he really likes Connie and Skull tells him to ask her out. Bulk is pretty afraid to do it and Skull says he needs to go to an expert. Bulk then runs off and Skull's kind of offended. In the power chamber, Billy says that he's finishing up a new weapon called the Zeo cannon to make it so they can freeze monsters now too. He's heading out to get something from the lab. Meanwhile, Tanya and Adam are playing basketball and Bulk comes up asking Tanya to speak to her alone. He asks her what girls like in a guy under the guise that he has a friend that's asking this. Tanya then says that she personally likes a worldly, sophisticated type of guy. Like Adam. At the police station, Bulk shows up as an English stereotype and he pulls out a kettle of tea and then Stone and the captain show up. Bulk runs away and the captain's very mad that Bulk was clearly just like hitting on his daughter. Meanwhile, Sprocket and his new toy are on Earth together and his monster, the Googleheimer, starts firing at things to show off how fun he can be. They then see Billy, and Googleheimer suggests that they have fun with him. Also, Billy's still playing with that lame-ass toy. Then the cogs show up around him and behind him, and he starts fighting off the cogs, dropping his communicator, which is, by the way, still blue. He then gets tossed onto the ground, and he takes out a magnet that he got from his lab, using it on the remote control car to pull the cogs in whatever direction he wants. Remember when Billy was like a really good fighter? Yeah, I guess that means nothing now. He defeats the cogs, kinda, and he gets his communicator, putting it back on. He tells Alpha to teleport into the command center right away, leaving. Meanwhile, Rocky, Kat, and Tommy are putting flyers on cars, and Tommy flirts with Kat a bit, and Kat explains that he needs to be a little bit more sensitive if he wants a date to the dance. Bulk and Skull overhear this, and they decide that that's what they need to do. Write poetry. They enter the police station dressed as beatniks, and Bulk starts reciting some terrible poetry, and Skull turns on a fan, spreading flyers everywhere, and Bulk takes out a damn chicken, getting feathers everywhere. The captain and Stone come out, and because Stone can't control Bulk and Skull, he gets fired on the spot. Bulk and Skull then say if Stone goes, so do they, both leaving with him. Sprocket then shows up in front of Rocky, Kat, and Tommy with Googleheimer. It's morphin' time! The three Rangers then try to fight the monster, but they're not doing great from the start. I mean, they're doing their best, but as is a theme with this season, they need help. Adam and Tanya are still playing basketball when they get beeped about the situation. It's morphin' time for them too. With all five Rangers together, they still suck, getting blown up by Googleheimer pretty easily. Alpha then finally sees this on the viewing globe and he tells Billy they need to help, so Billy says that he's going to help them with the Zeo cannon. They get the Zeo cannon, putting in the power cells into the thing before they fire, just blowing the thing up. I mean, yeah, that definitely froze it, Billy. Sprocket then yells at Orbis and Clank and they make him grow giant just like they do every other day of the week. This surprises Tommy for some reason. Whatever, they call it their Zeozords, forming the Zeo Megazord. Then the monster sprays multicolored foam all over them, and then they can't see out because apparently no one has installed freaking windshield wipers yet. Googleheimer then runs around hitting the Megazord for some reason, celebrating. Tommy calls out the red Battlezord, teleporting into it. He then uses it to somehow free the Megazord from the foam. I mean, what the hell was that? They form the Mega Battlezord, firing relentlessly at Googleheimer, blowing him up. In space, Sprocket is pretty mad that his toy just got blown up, but of course Mondo says that they'll get them next time. At the dance, everyone is dressed as different decades, and it looks like Billy is dressed up as the future, which is funny to me. Tanya's a flapper girl, and Tommy shows up as a Saturday Night Fever knockoff, and he shows off to Rocky, who has the same theme going on, but Tommy looks better. Also, Bulk and Skull are there dressed up as old-timey officers. Then Stone shows up as Sherlock Holmes, talking about how he's going to start his own detective agency now. They agree to be detectives with him. Connie then comes up, telling him that she quit the police force because she only joined to impress her dad, and she really has nothing to be sorry for. Bulk agrees to a dance with her, and honestly, it's sweet to see Bulk get a focus episode like this. We end this episode with everyone dancing in the youth center. The end. This episode's different in a cool way because we actually got a focus episode on someone who's just been on the show since the beginning, Bulk. It's also a huge testament to Bulk's character growth to see him actually interested in pursuing a woman and how he wants to do the right thing to wow her. We also have some development on Stone's front. Turns out he's always wanted to be a detective all along, and now this is the perfect chance for him to do that. So Bulk and Skull are now not just going to be doing the same thing they were since the beginning of Season 3. It's strange that this happened like mid-season, this sort of change, but honestly it's welcomed. Other than that, the rest of the episode wasn't much to write home about. I mean, it was pretty much all about how Sprocket wanted a toy and Billy had a freaking remote control race car. It did introduce the Zeo cannon, which I legitimately thought they had up until this episode. Well, so how will next time go? Find out then, but until then, may the power protect you.